Right now, everything in hip-hop feels like it's orbiting around T.I. and 50 Cent. If you're ready to see how Tip has somehow maneuvered himself into being the first rapper to leave 50 looking confused, cornered, and low-key waving the white flag in real time, buckle up. Before we go any further, smash that like button and subscribe, because what we're witnessing isn't just another rap spat. This is history unfolding. After stepping away for comedy and sliding back into full rap mode, T.I. has turned this year into a statement run, and it's only escalating as he keeps pressing 50 and controlling the narrative in a way nobody has ever pulled off against him. And this isn't just fan hype or hater talk. Between his Pharrell-produced single, Let Him Know, cracking the Billboard Hot 100 at number 43 while the tension builds, and diss records like The Right One applying serious pressure, Tip is moving in a way that no rapper has managed against 50. At this point, T.I. isn't just arguing for Best Active Veteran. He's staking a claim as one of the sharpest in the game, period. And while Tip's stock keeps climbing, 50's situation, it's not looking pretty. There are two major reasons for that, and trust me, it's about to get worse fast. Because while 50 tries to meme and troll his way out of a beef with real stakes, it's clearly not landing. Deep down, it feels like he knows he can't match Tip bar for bar in 2026. And now even his trolling edge is slipping, especially after quietly deleting some of the very posts that ignited this whole situation, which, let's be honest, is a win for T.I. and even King. That original spark came when 50 posted a picture of Tiny, and that's when things truly turned sour. But the loudest guy in every room suddenly took that post down and tried to distract everyone with Broadway updates and more trolling, as if we wouldn't notice. And while there's no official explanation for why he deleted it, people are connecting dots. The most believable theory? Brand sponsors and business partners likely stepped in and told him dragging Tiny into it was a bad look for someone juggling multiple industries and big deals. And if that's true, it almost looks worse than deleting it on his own, because it reinforces the exact critique Tip has been making about character and image. In The Right One, Tip basically questions whether 50 is really as ruthless as he pretends, from Ja Rule to now, or if there's a limit when business interests are involved. Because 50 will go nuclear on certain targets, but when it comes to stepping outside the comfort zone of who signs his checks, suddenly there's restraint. Watching him pivot based on what his team allows exposes how much of the untouchable tough guy persona might be performance. For years, he's leaned into that troll image, sometimes even benefiting from it in mainstream moments like commercials and pop culture jokes. But that brand has appealed more to outsiders than to core hip-hop heads who built with him in the 2000s. And now the mask feels like it's slipping. The idea that 50 only picks safe targets and avoids true backlash is becoming harder to ignore as this plays out in real time. That T.I. line about who 50 chooses to attack versus who he doesn't might be the turning point that reshapes how people view him forever. Because the way Tip is playing this, it's surgical. He's not just sparring, he's positioning himself to dismantle a legacy. And what makes it even more dangerous is that this tension didn't start yesterday. It's been building through moments in the culture, from industry politics to public alliances. Even during the Kendrick Lamar and Drake situation, people noticed 50's positioning. For fans who value authenticity, these cracks have been visible for a while. And now T.I. might be the one bold enough and credible enough to bring it all to the surface. Because for everything 50 claims to represent in hip-hop, Tip embodies the principles needed to call out hypocrisy. That Tyson line, saying 50 thinks he's iron tough, but isn't even tougher than Tip's son, already hit like a brick. And beyond punchlines, T.I. has always stood on principles, consistency, and cultural presence, whether you agree with him or not. As one of the defining Southern legends, he carries weight. When you really break it down, Tip is the perfect opponent because he's from the same era, with comparable credentials, and many would argue greater longevity. His catalog runs deeper, his relevance lasted longer, and in 2026 he's still rapping at a high level. Meanwhile, the perception forming is that 50 relies on memes and captions, but avoids real lyrical combat. And when you can't stand firm once the smoke circles back, people notice. Posting cryptic captions, sneaking shots in unrelated posts, or distracting with other ventures doesn't erase the fact that Tip called him out directly. The king versus duck concept threaded through the record isn't random. It points to years of perceived dodging, from the cancelled Brazos to this current exchange. For someone branded as the face of rap beef, even joked about on big stages and commercials, not engaging in an actual rap battle feels ironic. And the longer the silence stretches, the more it reads like surrender. T.I. didn't just tease. He landed real shots, including bringing family into the conversation after 50 opened that door. This isn't playful banter anymore. It's layered, pointed, and strategic. And beyond narratives and titles, this is where reputations get permanently altered. Because the uncomfortable truth hovering over all of this is about skill level. Fair or not, many critics argue 50's rapping today doesn't resemble the sharp songwriter he was in the 2000s. His recent performances, flows, and releases haven't inspired confidence, and that's putting pressure on whether he can even respond effectively. When other 2000s giants declined, they usually retained at least one elite trait. Wayne still flashes technical skill, Eminem still structures complex verses, Kanye still crafts strong production. The critique here is harsher. That 50 hasn't shown that same retained excellence in any lane. So unless he shocks everyone with a focused, high-quality response, the optics are brutal. And that's why T.I. deserves acknowledgement for how calculated this approach has been. He's in the same weight class, with enough credibility to make every jab stick, unlike lesser opponents who couldn't dent 50's armor. Even if 50 fires off a viral caption tomorrow, the perception of ducking might already be cemented. Because in hip-hop, disputes traditionally get settled on wax. If 50 stays silent, the fraud narrative grows louder. If he steps in the booth and underdelivers, it could be even more damaging. Either path feels risky, and that's why it looks like Tip currently holds the upper hand. Unless 50 pulls off something unexpected that restores his standing, many are already calling this round for T.I. Not only because Tip looks revitalized, almost like he's entering a veteran renaissance, but because he's challenging the foundation of 50's persona in the process. And for a lot of fans, dismantling that image might be the biggest victory of all. So now I want to hear from you. Who's really winning this? Are T.I.'s diss tracks hitting the mark? Is 50 trolling strategically, or just stalling? And where do you see this ending? If you made it this far, I genuinely appreciate you. Hit that like button if you haven't, subscribe to the channel, and join the conversation. And if you want more, we've also got big developments brewing with Kendrick Lamar and Denzel Curry, plus whatever chaos Drake is navigating right now. You won't want to miss it. Check out the suggested video, and let's keep this conversation going.